Hey guys, Adam Painchaud with E3 Firearms Association. Got a special guest today. This is Katrina. So Katrina is a recent graduate of a class I taught recently, a 2-day class really focused around handgun and defensive handgun. And I think your first was that your first formal class?
Yes.
Yeah, so first formal class ever, and you came into that class, you had I think your dad maybe taught you some things in the past about just what
Basic safety, picking up a handgun, how to handle it safely. But really that was it, just so you don't shoot anybody at the range.
Yeah, yep. And so were you carrying before? Were you concealed carry before that training?
Yes.
Yeah, so you were, and you obviously still are.
Yes.
Yep. And you're a mom, right?
Yes.
So being a mom, that presents some unique challenges to concealed carry, I'm sure, doesn't it?
Very unique.
Yeah, no doubt. So what? After that 2 days of training, so you were carrying a gun before, concealed, and you went through that 2 days of training, and we hit it pretty heavy. That was a fire hose in the mouth for 2 days. We were doing a lot of stuff. Boy, we were shooting from vehicles. We were literally doing tactics, movement tactics, not just the marksmanship aspect of it, but the tactics, the survival piece of it, of carrying a firearm to protect you and others. So having carried a gun before without formal education, just the safety basics, and now with that, that education, what are your thoughts now out there on the street?
I feel as though after I realized how uneducated I was and how dangerous any situation might have been, I didn't really think about all of the situations and handling a gun. And after training, it just blew me away in realizing I know nothing. But now I do, and I know that there's more that I need to learn and want to learn to keep educating myself.
That's great. You didn't know what you didn't know, right? So before, you had the safety aspect of it. You understood, the basic safety rules that we know, or maybe you don't know. And then you had probably some, I'm sure you hit the range before you had shot, right?
Yeah.
Been in the range a couple times. But there's folks, there's a big difference between marksmanship training and just understanding the safety aspects of a gun and actually defending your life in an encounter, and that's what we call tactics. Being technically proficient with firearms if you're going to conceal carry. Do you like? We covered a lot of things in there, just defense in the home. If there was a bump in the night and you had to retrieve your firearm in the night, you feeling comfortable?
Just even clearing a door, things I never thought of before, where what were we going to do? What was my husband going to do? What was I going to do? What were we going to reach for? How were we going to clear doorways? You can't just get up and run.
Yeah.
You could be shot.
Yep.
And safely handling a weapon just around my daughter. You taught basic, how to move your weapon without crossing anybody, and those things are huge.
Maybe things you didn't think about prior to.
Not at all. I just thought about putting the gun on the table, picking it up, and shooting a target.
Yeah.
And there's much more to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And folks are always interested to know of what you're carrying. Yeah. So you're a mom. You've just been through some formal training. Is the gun that you were carrying prior to that training, and the setup, the holster, or whatever it is, however you carry, is it the same as it was then? Now?
No.
What changed there?
I downsized the size of the gun.
Okay.
And also the ammo, obviously. And mostly because I felt more confident in my skills.
Yeah.
That I could go down a size and I can conceal it easier.
Yeah.
When I carry my firearm, for instance, and I take my extra magazine, I put it in a place where I know I can grab it without looking and put it right into the firearm, where before I didn't think about that. Maybe I threw the extra magazine in my purse or had it on the wrong side, for instance. And I'm more thoughtful with, my daughter around me. So those things were huge.
Yeah, well, that's really interesting. Those are great takeaways. You primarily doing an off-body type of carry or on-body, like you doing like a purse holster or something like that, or how are you typically carrying?
For the most part, I feel comfortable on body.
Yeah.
There are situations though where I don't really have a choice because of an outfit. It's a little harder for women.
Yeah.
So I'm sometimes left with putting it in my purse.
Yeah.
But my purse is number one, and then my daughter. So I know where, you know, she is in proximity to the purse. It's usually a wraparound body purse, so it's kind of on my body anyway. And then I know where the firearm is. It's positioned in a way that I could reach it, where before it probably was backwards. You know, before training, because I never thought I might have to grab it.
Oh, awesome. You know, all interesting takeaways, you know, from, you know, Katrina's a great example, folks, you know, of, had guns, you know, a lot, you know, had guns prior to this, even carried guns prior to this, had some, you know, some really basic, you know, just, you know, how to be safe and not hurt yourself type of training, and, you know, some basic marksmanship fundamentals, certainly hit the range occasionally, but after some formal education, you know, some great takeaways of just not only, you know, how to shoot, but more importantly, how to maybe survive, how to survive a deadly force encounter, how to deal with a threat, you know, how to be a tactician. You mentioned doorways, you know, how to deal with a doorway or, you know, a stairway, or how do I move safely in my house, or what am I going to do if we did vehicle stuff, I believe, right? You know, so shoot from a vehicle, or more importantly, how not to shoot from a vehicle, even better, right? Even more important. So these are great takeaways. So Katrina's a great example, a graduate, you know, of some training we put out there, you know, that's
and
probably
a future student continuing to learn.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great point, Katrina. You know, it just doesn't stop here. It's continuous. You know, even myself, well, I've been doing this for a long time. You know, but I am forever a student. You know, the second we stop that learning, you know, hang it up. You know, forever a student. You know, so I know Katrina's going to get back out there, get on the range again, some more courses, and you know, it's enjoyable. Did you have fun?
Yeah. I want to do it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right now.
Yeah. You know, so, you know, the entertain part of E3, you know, that's important. You know, it's fun. You know, and when you came, you know, you had your husband with you. He had a blast. You know, it was a good marriage event.
A good date.
Yeah, it was a great date. You know, that's a pretty solid date right there. So, hey, I hope you enjoyed this segment. Yeah, got something out of it, especially for you moms out there, and or folks that maybe, you know, you've been carrying a gun, you have guns, but you never received any formal training. You know, whether it's watching some of our videos, you know, looking through our courses, or actually attending in-person type of training or seminars, you're going to get a lot out of it, and it's going to change your life, and it's going to ultimately make you safer. So thanks for viewing, and hope to see you out there on the range soon.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you.